Hello, hello. Welcome to CoMA Pirate Radio, where all of the esoteric pirates can pull our boats together, throw some ropes, tie some knots, form a big circle in the middle of the ocean. Well, not that far. No, just outside of shore, for the parties and stuff. Because, for this party, we're going to sink into the cosmic dialogue. And I asked who wants to speak first. And upon meditation, I found that the sun actually has a lot to say. The sun is the birthday kid, like the androgynous. The party is for the sun. Without the sun, there would be no reason for a party. There would just be no energy for the party. Like, you don't have a birthday party for nobody. So let's talk about the sun. All of the planets revolve around it. It is in the center of the solar system. It makes up 99.86% of the total mass of the solar system. Now, 99.86 is only a couple of fractions away from the whole entire thing, right? And then it's mostly made up of hydrogen and helium. The first thing I think about helium is the balloons and squeaking. And we think about that it's a giant ball of plasma. And there's a lot of cool things about plasma. It is the fourth state of matter. And, the 4 is my favorite number. It's a very, number. It's like, yeah, I got this. It's a 4. It's so solid. Right? To turn gas into plasma, it takes a lot of heat. A lot. We're talking 11 to 14,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Woo! Woo! When I saw that number 11, I was like, oh yeah, that's hot. Okay, here we go. Did you know plasma can conduct electricity? I was like, yeah, and then I was like, neon lights? I knew those things have always turned me on. The second you see neon lights, you just drawn to the door. You don't even have to move your feet. You're just like, yes, neon lights. They're so beautiful. And we see this in nature with lightning and the northern lights, Of course. The light show of nature. And oh, God, do I love some lightning. That's just, yeah. Jesus. But now it is easy to romanticize all of this, a lot of heat. Esoterically, we got to think about alchemy. And we're not just talking about turning something to gold. That was long time ago. They were just trying to get to gold. Nah, baby. Nah. It's the 21st century. We gonna make it to plasma this trip. But that heat takes a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot more than just a little bitty old lantern from the hermit. Bless your heart. There's nothing wrong with a candle. I do like a candle. I do. Every night, actually, I suggest staring into a candle. But let's get back to the sun from that candle. Let's look back up into this ginormous candle. And, I think about it that, we're mostly made up of water, right? Hydrogen, too. That's the H2. And the O, oxygen. Yeah, we all know that. And I'm just like, yeah, but you know what? You hadn't really thought about the 2. And you hadn't really thought about hydrogen, and then the sun being mostly hydrogen, and then turning into plasma all at the same time. I'm like, oh, well, now I am. Thank you very much, sun. This is a great party already. I like it. And I think about the sun rays, right? And the image, the Egyptian image of the hands on the rays. Yeah, that's an important one to meditate on, and I do as often as I can. I'd like to do it daily at home, but, the sun worship ceremony, where I focus on the hands, on the rays of the sun and plasma. So from there, we can start talking about the relationships. So, at the party, what's going on with you, sun, right now at the party? And I see that there's a sextile with Mars and Chiron. I'm like, oh, a sextile going on with Mars and Chiron? Yes. So I start getting excited, but then I realize that there's a square with Saturn. So I'm just like, all right, something's going on. Let's dive into this cosmic dialogue. Let's turn our Kundalini snakes into plasma, spiraling up our tunnels and bursting a ginormous amount of energy into the solar system, into the shadow. So I shuffled the cards because this is all in Gnosis, solitude, all the stuff you need to really be able to really communicate with these guys. Okay, so I asked, what is the sun saying to Mars? 10 of diamonds. You are the world to me. Together, we create immense pleasure. I'm starting to get hot. I'm like, oh, Mars. Oh, baby, your action, your focus, your success rate turns me on. That team spirit. Mars is the jock at the party. He's the best team player. He's wearing the Letterman jacket with the number 11. Because once you hit that 11, oh baby, it's all over. Or it's just begun. Depends on your perspective now, doesn't it? So Mars, my dear, you sexy thing, you, what would you like to respond to this sun that thinks you are their world? And he responds with a 4 of swords. I was like, the hard sword, the stable sword. That 4, there's that 4. Oh, this sword will burn all night. Going back to the hermit, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. This episode is just, sometimes the candle gets blown out. And, Pluto wants to talk about that and how scary that can be. Especially when the face of the, shadow comes out and your light goes out. It's very much horror. Fuck. Pluto. Oh, Pluto, what's wrong with you? I'm feeling this, kind of depression. Oh, yeah. Opposition to Venus. Yeah, you a little bit depressed over there. Well, you got a lot to say, but we're talking to the sun right now. I love you, Pluto. We're going to talk about you, too. You're always talked about, my love. So, but we have to talk to Chiron. Okay, so Chiron, the wounded healer, the shaman, of our ancestors that's here to re-break our bones to set them. Because, we just kind of broke some stuff and let it go on. And when a broken bone calluses over, it can be very painful. It can cause limps. It can cause lots of problems. So, Chiron, my dear, you are also in sextile with this, this love, whatever is going on over there. What do you have to say? And I pull the 7 of hearts. I'm like, Chiron, bringing in the action of the 7, the faith of the 7, the wisdom of the 7, and the understanding of emotions with the hearts and cups. Oh, Chiron. Chiron says, this is not going to turn into a dirty orgy, you guys. I mean, Mars can get, there's a lot of people sometimes that's involved in a war, and Mars tends to gather lots of people. It's interesting. Well, he's the jock, right? Like, they want to see him play. Like, he is the center of the stadium. There is no denying it, Mars. But Chiron is like this shaman that's coming in and is like, hey, Mars, these people need healing with the action of the 7 of hearts. Chiron is turning this football, what is that when they play this? This Chiron is making the football playoffs, the big game. I'm not a sports person personally, so I have no idea. But when there's a bunch of people that talk about the sports games going on, and it's the cup, right? Interesting. They win a cup. But Chiron is coming in and turning this into a ceremony. Let's not drink beer and eat peanuts. Oh God, I love peanuts. And I don't not like beer. But instead, Chiron's bringing us into the energy of, let's drink some mushroom tea and some cacao and, some of this ayahuasca drink, and let's eat some stuff from nature and all get together and watch the sun and Mars get it on. I mean, that's hot. Hot. We're talking 11 to 14,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's take this 7 and feel this bursting out of the star, which, the sun is a star, with the chariot. Just, that the chariot is so cool because it's pulled by horses, right? And I really like horses. I have 2 mares, actually, that I want to put in a chariot. Actually, I want to stand on their backs, but that's a lot of aspirations. I really just enjoy spending time with my baby girls, my horses, and doing more chariot stuff in my mind. Let's talk about these horses becoming the Kundalini dragons. Oh, that's sexy, Mars. The orgasm. Yeah, I do like talking about orgasms. Let's shoot this wad to the furthest reaches of the solar system, all the way to Pluto. See, Pluto, I knew we would come back around to you, my baby. You just got cum all over your face. You can't be... Oh, yeah, see, Venus? Oh, Venus is getting jealous. Oh, we got a lot of masculine energy going on, because the sun is very pushing and forceful and fire energy masculine, and Mars is masculine, the sacred masculine, and Pluto's the god of the underworld. We got a lot of mask going on here. Venus. Oh, Venus, my dear. Tranquila, amor. Todo está bien. Todo está bien. Gracias. So, let's figure out what Saturn has to say. Because I'm starting to feel this pressure from Saturn. Little Miss Saturn. I can feel this square because I'm like, there's a lot of mask energy, exactly what I'm talking about. And Saturn is very much a grandmother that really, for me, I mean, it's weird. I don't know why some astrologers paint it out to be a masculine energy, but those rings and her holding boundaries is very feminine. Anyway, at any rate, androgynous energies. Saturn has Venus in her best interests. I mean, everybody's got everybody in the best interest. But anyway, this party is getting hot. And Saturn's over there being like, she tapping. So I got to pull the cards because I'm assuming a lot here. Saturn, what do you have to say about this party that we got going on? That Pluto just got hit in the face. Oh, Saturn. Danger, Will Robinson. I feel her. I'm like, are we doing something bad? I mean, I feel like Saturn, my Leo Saturn says we're doing something bad. I shouldn't be talking like this, talking about wads and stuff and ejaculations on YouTube. What? What if your mom sees this or hears this? You know what I mean? But I'm making a lot of assumptions. So I pull the cards. What do you have to say, Saturn? And it's the Queen of Hearts. I was a bit confused. I'm like, oh, a Queen of Hearts? Ooh. It feels good. The Water Queen, the Mermaid, the Sirens. Saturn, I didn't know you had it in you, baby. Oh my God, I talked about this in one of the past videos because they were like, you know, they are the waiters of brothels and the old bars and stuff. The women that can carry 30 shot glasses on a platter and weave through drunken men and not let them fuck with her, you know. The Queen of Hearts. And then I realized this square. And then, you know, I felt so silly. I was like, as a non-dualist, I should totally understand that this tension of the square is not always bad. You know, Saturn looked at me and was like, why you gotta think that square was bad? What if I actually like what's going on with Mars and the Sun? And I'm like, oh, baby. Yes. I want you in the tower with me. Whew. Saturn has the focus. She started talking to me about concentration. Whew. You can't get any hotter than that. The focus and the concentration and the squeeze. The rings. Oh. Talk about some cock rings. Are they going to flag me for my horrible language? Talking about cock rings. Oh my God. This Saturn is like, this is the square. Okay, I get it. The square is shaking her head at me like, why you got to be so hard on yourself? Dude, you're just talking about cock rings. Like, we're in the 21st century, baby. It's not the old days. They're not going to hang you for talking about shit. Freedom of speech. Oh, yeah, okay. Just remind me sometimes because, like, I've been through so many timelines that sometimes I get mixed up and I can't remember where I'm at. And I get really tense and really nervous, my Saturn does, about being burned. It's very interesting about being burned. And we're just talking about being very, very hot. And now I'm already thinking about being burned at the stake again. Which I really started thinking about, like, the plasma again. And wondering if I was able to be burned at the stake and focusing on the plasma and my body mostly being water actually evaporating and getting hot enough because of the internal energy to actually turn into plasma and shoot straight up into the fucking sun. Dude, I turned myself on. Oh my God. Okay. Let's get back to, I've lost my place in my reading. Little Miss Saturn. You know, Chiron, because we got to talk about Chiron again. Chiron starts piping up. At that point, Chiron was like, wait a second. Hey, did you know that I have a relationship with Saturn and Uranus? I was like, yes, you do. Chiron's orbit is right in the middle of Saturn and Uranus. You know, Uranus has rings. Dude. It's fucking true. Uranus has rings that, you know, they can be stretched out. And Mars likes to stretch them out. Oh my God. And Saturn's like, yeah, this is already getting hot. Mars is always hard. Always. So I'm like, all right, this is lit. We got to wrap this up. This is getting hot. It's getting hot in here. Take off all your clothes. The sun then tells me, you know I'm in Gemini, right? Oh, Gemini. Talk about 11 and dualities. Oh, sun. You so hot. You so hot. And the sun also started telling me about the blessings of the two and the two snakes. So I'm like, all right, you get the last word because, you know, it's your dialogue. And, you know, what else you want to say with all this stuff? What is your final statement, son? And I pull the 6 of Swords. Immediately, I'm like, another sword. Of course he's hard. Of course he's hard. The beauty in the sword with the 6. The 6 is like, look, it's a fucking dick pic. I mean, what? Son, god damn. Really? The 6 of Swords, the beauty of the swords, the lovers of the 6, and the Tower in 16. And the sun says, what goes on in the tower stays in the tower. The internalization of the 6 of Swords in your mind. People be like, people be thinking I like parties. She must be a party fucking animal. I want to party with this Mystic Eve. I'm like, no, I like being in a very small, secluded space. Or with my horses. Or in the middle of nowhere on the mountains. But no, I'm here. I'm here in the web. And the sun says, protect the tower, baby. Protect the temple. I'm gonna have to edit out that whole pause, but I'm gonna tell you there was a long pause because that's emotional. Protect your temple. Protect the jeweled island. Take care of your bodies. Thank you. Thank you, sun, for shining. Jesus Christ. Pluto's like, Mars. Thank you, Mars. Thank you, Mars, for your fucking grit, man. I love your grit. Mars actually helps me stop crying and be able to talk through my emotions and not break down. And I mean, you know, I let Mars break down when he's by himself. But anyway, Chiron, thank you, Chiron, for not giving a shit if it hurts. Pluto. For liking it when it hurts. For liking it. Thank you, Chiron, for being in this beautiful sextile with the sun and Mars. Thank you for bringing this crazy orgy, which, you know, can be fun, but thank you for the ceremony. Thank you for the orgasm. Mars is like, yeah, baby, thank you. No, Chiron is bringing it with Saturn's focus on the alchemical tantric practice of the energies that we're using here. We're not, well, let's not say what we're not. Let's say what we are. And we are light beings, the illuminated, the ones that, can feel the planets. Thank you so much, all of you. And if you'd like to support, all the shit's below, the links and stuff. And there's a lot of ways you can support, just subscribing and thumbs upping and sharing. And I get it. It sometimes can just be, you're just scrolling through. All you want to do is scroll. I get it. I'm there. But I've decided that I'm going to be more supportive. And I think the social media thing with Uranus, I think Uranus is pretty sexy. Technology and all, and the way we can, yeah, dude, like I can totally have an orgy by myself. And I practically do. Okay, Pluto, stop. Mars, okay, we're wrapping it up. There's nothing else to say. Thank you, Saturn. And thank you guys for this miraculous dance around the sun. Whether you're traveling physically or mentally, may it be in love, light, and shadow. Don't forget that lube. Ciao.